us your name?
Sure. My name is Brian McMahon. I am on the board of directors with United Way.
And what made you decide to do that?
That's a good question. I am the Director of Accountability and Research with the School District of Indian River County. I think throughout my life and my career, I've always wanted to find value in who I am and what I do. And so as such, my vocation through education, I'm able to impact the community in a way that's specific to my gifts and talents. And in doing so, just trying to expand that influence. And obviously United Way is a major partner in the community. And so when the opportunity presented itself to serve on the board of directors, I felt there's definitely something I'd want to do just as another avenue to provide value to my community. I've got 4 kids all through public schools, and having grown up and knowing what the United Way does and not having grown up with a lot of money and within my family, I know the type of power that United Way can have in a community. So I felt like it was an organization that fit with my values. I moved here in 2001, 2004, so early 2000s. So I've been here for a while. I think the one thing that drew me to Indian River County is it had that small town feel that I had growing up, but it still had the big town amenities. I'm sure my kids, I don't think they'd be able to survive without Target. You know, the town I grew up in, it had a blinking light. So I still have that kind of feel of a small town, but it definitely, you're starting to see some of the services from a big community, and I do appreciate that. So I don't have the multi-generational family from Indian River County, so I don't have that nostalgia of what it was 60, 80 years ago, but I still appreciate this, and I do consider Vero as my home.
Any challenges that you've come across with parents and students?
Do you really want me answering that? You know, from at least our lens, today's political environment is very polarizing, it seems. And I think trying to find some common ground and work together, because obviously I think that every member of this community wants a better community. There's no arguing that. The challenge has become trying to find a common ground as to what is that better community. I think there's a quote that I have on my desk at work, if things stop being easy, you're not doing the right things. The idea is that when things are the right things, it's going to be difficult. You're going to challenge people's beliefs, you're going to challenge people's desires, and it's a matter of working through that. So certainly in today's age, there's a lot of challenges out there, but trying to find that common ground to move forward is probably the biggest one for me.
And have you seen more difficulties post-COVID, or?
Absolutely,
Yeah.
I think so. I mean, even absent of COVID, it really, at least from my vocational perspective, from work in the education sector, it was a major upheaval, because it was the traditional way of teaching was thrown out, and we had to very quickly pivot to a whole nother medium. And you know, now we're finding those long-term repercussions from that. You had varying levels of students and what they did at home. In our house, both my wife and I are educators, and we're familiar with the system, yet when we had 4 kids at home on 4 different devices trying to manage that learning, it was challenging. And I can only imagine someone who maybe is working 2 jobs to make ends meet and didn't have the ability to work from home. And so what we're finding now is that repercussions of 2-3 years of that distance learning and all of the challenges that came with it. So you have students who are varying levels, and also just their inherent needs. Kids need to feel safe and secure before they can learn. And COVID certainly added a dimension to whether or not a student felt safe based on a health concern that just wasn't there before.
Is there anything that you would like to say to other teachers, educators, and parents? Words of encouragement, any thoughts in general?
Sure. There's always an awkward question, because there's 1,000 things that could be said. I think the biggest thing is that there's value in what you do. Oftentimes in education, it's a thankless profession, or when you do receive a thank, it's a few and far between. There's more complaints, there's more kind of the negativity, and it's easy to focus on those peak or those valleys. But really, at the end of the day, there is value in what educators are doing. There's value in what parents are doing. And while we might not know the right track, that's the challenge of education. If it was easy, we wouldn't need so many professionals. We wouldn't need the quality people that we are seeking after and that we have. And so it's maybe just a word of encouragement to know that the challenges come with the work. That's what makes it a vocation. That's what makes it a passion. And just to encourage them to know that despite the challenges, despite the barriers and pitfalls that we find ourselves in, there's value in what we do, and we are making the community a better place. We're leaving this society, this earth, this community better than when we came into it.